In this video tutorial series, we are going to learn how to create a donut from scratch to final rendering using Autodesk Maya in 2025. Let's start. So I want to set my project properly first. File, project window, and yes, I want the location to be in 0 renders 3D, but I want a different project folder name. So let's call it the donut project with capital P. So I want all these folders to be in that folder, so I know where my textures go, my playbars, my everything. So I just have to click accept, and I have to make sure that I am working on that specific folder. So I have to go to File, Set Project, and make sure I double click or single click. I make sure I single click donut project and press set. And I want to save my file, save scene as. See, it's saving right inside the donut project scene folder. So I want it to be called, let's say, donut, let's say donut render version 1. Version 01, so save as. So now I have a blank viewport. So now we can start. First, I want to set my preferences. So I want to work on 25 frames per second later for the animation, and I want to do like 125 frames, which is 5 seconds of animation. Then I want to go to preferences by selecting this icon, or I just go to Windows, settings, preferences. We are gonna go and change our, the working units. So the default here is centimeter, and I think I'm going for centimeter since our object is a donut. And a donut is, I mean, we can measure it in centimeters quite easily. So centimeters, save. Which means that every square here is a centimeter. So 1 centimeter, 2 centimeters. So I think I am going for a 5-inch kind of donut right here, 13 centimeters. All right. Okay, so in our previous tutorial, we mentioned that if you press spacebar, like if you tap spacebar, you can go to different panels just like this, and you just have to tap which ones you want to go to, right? Another tutorial tip is press and hold spacebar, press and hold a left mouse button. So while holding the left mouse button, just have to point it at the camera view that you like. For me, for example, it's top view. So point it and then release both the spacebar and the left mouse button. Release, and now you're in the top view. So again, if you want to go back to perspective, you just have to press spacebar, press and hold, and then the left mouse button, and then just point at perspective and then release. You're in perspective mode again. We said 13 centimeters. So what I want to do is create measuring tools, and I'm going to be using the distance tool right here. We can see my cursor changed. What I want to do is press X, so press and hold X so it snaps to the grid. Press 1 there, and I want to press it on the other side while still pressing and holding X. Left mouse click here. If you look in our outliner right here, we see locator 1 and locator 2. So I just have to press this arrow, the select tool, or in our keyboard, that's letter Q. So I can press locator 1 and locator 2. So this, we can move it. And while we move it, if you see in the middle, there's a specific number that is like a measurement between these two locators. So which means there is a distance of 17 centimeters in between these two locators. But we want it to be 13 centimeters, right? Actually, let's just make it 12 centimeters so it's easier. Let's just make it into a smaller donut. So 12 is, so 6 squares to the left, 6 squares to the right. That way it's easier, right? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I want to put it here. So what I want to do while pressing X, move it towards 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Move it towards here. So that's like 6 boxes. And this one, I want it to be 6 boxes as well. So now we have 12 centimeters length. All right, so which means our donut should be this big right there. So I have to go back to perspective and you see that the measurements are there. Now we know the size of our donut. Now we have to make our donut. Which shape corresponds to a donut? I think that is what we call a torus. So we go to create, polygon primitives, torus. You just press and select torus. So now we have a torus on our viewport right here. But it's not as big as what we want. So what I want to do is go to top view and then scale my torus here. So now we have a 12 centimeter torus right there. All right. So if we go to our outliner, it says here torus. When we click it here, it updates here. I want to double click it and rename it to donut and press enter. So that way it's easy to spot or to know in our list which is the donut. If we go to channel box editor and you select polytorus, because that is the shape that we created a while ago, we select it, and here you can see that there are different options that we can change that will affect our torus right here. The radius, you select them here, select this one, and using your middle mouse button, just hold it and move to the left, move to the right. That is our radius right there. And then just release it if you like it that way. But for me, I'm gonna hit undo. I think I'm happy with the size of the torus. I just want it to be a little bit chunkier. So to adjust the chunkier, we go to the section radius right here. You select this, middle mouse button, hold it, and you move it left or right. So for me, the default was 0.5. I think I'm just gonna have to make it 0.6. Just a little bit chunkier. And again, with the measurements, we don't have to be very, very accurate because donuts have different sizes, and maybe I want my donut to be a little bit bigger, a little bit chunkier, and it's fine. So now we can see that on the edges right here, it's a bit jaggy. I want this rectangles right here to be like a squarish kind of shape. We have 20 right now for our default. What we can also do is just go here, select 20, just one click using your left mouse button, and let's say you want to make it 30. It just increases the division. We have to achieve like a squarish kind of, so I think I'm gonna go for 40. That's fine, I think 40 works. So this is the shape of our donut. This is our torus, this is our base. So don't forget to save your work, Control S, so we don't lose them. This torus looks so perfect. To make something that looks real in real life, it has to be imperfect. The imperfections make it look real. In this case, in our donut model, I want my donut to be very uneven. Not too uneven, but uneven in a very cute way. And how do we do that? Is we just have to mold it. So right now we are on our object mode right here. So we go to our vertex. And how do we go to vertex mode? So what I want to do is just select my object, move my pointer, my mouse pointer on the object, press and hold the right mouse button, hold it, and then move it to the option that you like. So we have here the vertex, the edge, object mode, UV, multi-face, vertex face. So what we want to do is select the vertex. Right now we want to move one of the vertices, for example this one, and to move we want to press W and F to frame it, so we go close up, but not too close up, so we can zoom out a little bit just like this so we can see what's happening. So we want to move vertex just like that, you know, just like that. But the thing is, if you move them one vertex at a time, you will have different, it's very sharp and it doesn't look correct. I just want to hit undo, which is Z, undo, so we're back. So we don't want to move a single vertex on its own. We want the entire group of them. It's more organic. So what I want to do is press B. Just hit B on your keyboard and it will show us an area of effect. I want the area of effect to be bigger. So how do I do that? So I want to press and hold B and then middle mouse button, hold it, and then drag it to the right until you're satisfied, and then release. And now we have a bigger kind of area of effect right there. So now I can just do that and kind of like change the shape of our donut to whichever shape we want, as long as it looks nice and you know, we want. So I want to lower this down a little bit, maybe this one a little bit higher up, select and drag it up, and then maybe this one is a bit like that. And don't forget the bottom, because we're gonna see the bottom as well.
We might see the bottom as well, so don't forget the bottom part of the donut. Then you can just change the shape like that. Just not too much, but you know, just so there's an irregularity. And yeah, so maybe a little bit here, like that, and like that. So that is the shape.
Right click, hold it, and then move it to object mode to go back to our object mode again. So again, right mouse click, hold it and point, and then release, vertex mode. And by the way, to remove this area of influence, we just have to press B again. So we're back to a singular vertex selection right there. So B again, just to make it like an area effect. B again to remove the area of effect. You can also do like multiple vertices and then press B. You can do that as well if you like. Depends on how you want your donut to be looking. So now, this is our donut right here. So right now, we are in our default polygon mesh kind of shading right here. If we press 3, it will show us the smooth shaded mode. So yeah, now we have our base mesh for the donut. Press save again. Another thing that I want to say is basically we did a lot of changes in this source. If there's like a lot of history in that object, sometimes it will crash, right? So we don't want to do that. And also we want our object to be clean all the time. So what I always want to do is to freeze transform. So this scale here goes back to 1, so it's easier to manipulate later. To freeze transform and delete the history. So how do we do that? So we just select the object here on the viewport, or select it from the outliner, select it, and then go to modify, freeze transformations, select it. So now our scale is no longer at 3 point something, it's back to 1. And if you notice here at the bottom here, the inputs are our history. So we don't want a lot of things going on in our object, because we don't want any crashing stuff happening. And also we want it to be clean and not heavy at all. So we just have to delete the history. We go to edit, delete all by type, history. So now we don't have the history of this donut anymore. We don't have if you select the torus, we cannot adjust the values of it anymore. So that is like a permanent thing to do. That's it. This is my final shape of the donut. So I think we don't need the measurements anymore. I can just go ahead and delete it. So you delete it is like you just select it and then press delete. Some people would like to keep it, maybe if they need it later on. They select the things and they group it. So grouping is Control G. You double click it and you rename it Measure Tools and press enter. So if you select this plus sign right here, it shows you the things that's inside that specific group. So if you uncheck it, it hides it. So you can also do that. I think let's just do this. Let's just put it in a group, and you can actually hide it. If you don't want to see it, you can hide it by pressing Control H. So now here it's hidden. So if you want to show it again, you just have to click it and then press Shift H. So right now we don't want to see it, so I just Control H. So instead of deleting, we just hide it.